this announcement from Disney, specifically Lucasfilm, the Star Wars branch of Disney, because I don't know whether to be excited about this or raging mad because when Disney bought Lucasfilm 2013 2014, and they purchased it, Lucasfilm, they purchased all the subsidiaries and all the other departments. And they already had a gaming department called LucasArts, which already had a development team, established publisher for the last 20 some odd years. All of a sudden, whoever's bright idea at Disney was to cut it, get rid of it. We're not stepping into that arena because Disney's own practices is to license out their IPs exclusively or license them out and then make the games that way instead of having their own division. Now, you guys heard about this? They released Lucasfilm Games. They brought it back. Why? Because they realized that a bunch of people there at this Lucasfilm or Disney parent company in the financial department are a bunch of fucking idiots. You have an established part department of the company that you just purchased. It's already had a foothold in that industry for at least 20 years. You want to get rid of it because you thought that your money making machine of theme parks and all this other shit wasn't going to run? Oh, now look what happened. We're in a pandemic. Guess what? Everybody's at home. Nobody's going to your goddamn parks. No, you're not making money. You don't have any infinite money now. Now you're looking for different avenues of sustaining revenue, and you're looking at different departments. Oh, what else we have? Oh, yeah, didn't we have a game department? Yeah, let's bring back that. You fucking morons! You should have just kept it going, and you wouldn't have to do none of this crap shit. Like, it's just plain old ridiculous.
Look, I think it's a good thing because hey, we got Lucasfilm's games back. But at the same time, we've had discussions off the podcast before where like when we were talking about different corporations making horrible decisions as far as games go. Like good example, the executives forcing Cyberpunk to be released early when like the programmers were like, "Yo, we're nowhere near ready." Like caused the game to flop. Like the people in charge have no idea what they're doing as far as the fans are concerned. Like I think there needs to be a middleman that can say no to the executives.
I believe so, but they're not that competent, and they're not gonna put nobody in that type of position as a liaison from the community to the executives. Because all these people care about is numbers as far as executives. So I get that, but speaking to this topic specifically, that really irks me. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I'm also happy at the same time because it gives me a sliver of hope, right? Of future games based off the Star Wars franchise of all different types, right? Now, the whole thing is, let's be real. This is pretty much coming off the onset not only just the pandemic, not only because nobody's going to their theme parks, they're not making revenue like they used to, they don't have an unlimited supply of cash flow, but also because they realize that the Star Wars fandom specifically are not ones to be fucked with. And they've already experienced the wrath of the Star Wars fandom with the sequel trilogy and Kathleen Kennedy and all her bullshit and her wokeness and all the shit that she's trying to pull. But also, we cannot forget Electronic Arts. They fucked up so bad with Battlefront 2 and Battlefront with their anti-consumer practices, their loot boxes, their gambling systems. It's all the same. They're fast making money. Let's be real. They fucked that up, and now guess what? They have lost their exclusive license to the Star Wars franchise. They've lost it. You know what I'm saying? And is this is the same company we're talking about that at one point people are telling them, "Oh, make a single player game, story focused, narrative focused. People will buy it off the Star Wars franchise. That's what the whole franchise is about. The lore. It has deep lore. Build on top of that. Oh, nobody wants that. Nobody's gonna buy that. Soon as Jedi Fallen Order came out, it did gangbusters, and now they turn around. Oh my God, yeah, we made Jedi Fallen Order, and we're making the sequel, and we're happy that we made this decision. Get the fuck out of here. Listen, if you have a company like Disney that has to come to you directly and tell you, yo, pump the brakes, pump the fucking brakes, then you know you have a problem.
So I don't think it would sound like that. I think it would be more like, ho ho, pump the brakes, ho ho.
Got that Mickey standing in the corner with that evil eye. He's like, hey, follow me.
You talking about Shad and Scoob, good sir.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
Hold on. They don't know nothing about that. We gotta keep that to ourselves.
If you bring that out there, bro, damn.
But yeah, I just like it gives me a sliver of hope because of a more expanded as far as the gaming industry with the Star Wars franchise. It gives them other studios a chance to develop their own Star Wars game and develop different experiences for everybody and for us, to experience.
And
One of the ones that uh they did announce was already a deal with Ubisoft, right? So they're letting Ubisoft make an open world single player adventure game, and the developers of that, Zero, is Massive Entertainment. The developers of The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division.
you just got this what the fuck look on my face, like, bitch, what are you talking about? Wait, what? Why? I was thinking you were going the route of the Dynasty Warriors, that route. You talking
I
about,
wish the heads at Koei Tecmo need to now that this is all going. That's my hope. I'm a huge Dynasty Warriors fan, always been since the PS2 days. And let me tell you, man, if those heads at Koei could get in contact with Disney and you know make out some sort of deal where they can use their license and make a Star Wars Dynasty Warriors type game, oh, that's a dream come true right there.
All I'm trying to figure out right now is who is the Star Wars equivalent of Lubu? Like, it's got to be a Sith.
Vader. Darth Vader. That's it. There you go. That's it.
yeah.
Vader. And then not only that, you can even make what if stories. Just imagine you running around as a Sith or a Jedi or even a smuggler, a bounty hunter, a Imperial soldier, a Republic commando, just running around just shooting and beating up shit, droids and the opposite faction, and you can add different elements, have some what if stories, even throwing characters from different eras just as DLC characters, or having their own what if stories, unlockables. Like, for me, that possibilities are endless. I don't know. That's just me.
All I'm thinking about is like if there is a bounty system and you can actually be a bounty hunter. I don't even care what my character's like. I'm still around. My backpack has jets. I'm broke.
I mean, if they want to go the route of Naruto Ninja Storm and Killer Bee story, where he's rapping through the all narration, why not? I can easily see that happening.
Like, I would definitely go ahead use the Spotify option and just have that playing while I'm playing the game. But like, I could see an MMO-esque, like, don't even have Jedi or Sith in it. Just have it be like, oh, you make your own bounty hunter. People would flock to it.
Well, I mean,
Well,
technically, they already did that with the Old Republic. You can make a bounty hunter.
but I was more concerned about the EA game that was supposed to be single player that was coming out, and that was about a bounty hunter. The story was being written by the creator of Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and The Last of Us, not part 2. I think Amy Winehouse was her name, or Amy. No, Winehouse doesn't sound correct. I know it's Amy something, and she
Amy
was.
Winehouse is a singer.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I was like, that's not correct. Um, but she, I love her storytelling, especially when it came to like The Last of Us. It
Of
was the
course.
first one was just gorgeous, and so as a bounty hunter being an action game, I knew the storytelling was going to be excellent. I knew she was going to incorporate some lore. It was going to be a excellent game, and
Yeah,
for it to be thrown away by EA, hopefully Disney capitalizes on that because that story was not used or implemented in any way, and I would like for some that to come to fruition.
I would love that too because the as far as The Last of Us is concerned, the first one is a masterpiece. And since they, pretty much she left the project or they fired her, whichever stories you want to believe, either way, we all know that Neil Druckmann fucked that second game up as far as narrative wise. It's still gameplay is great, the visuals are astounding. There's a lot of great elements to the game, but that narrative, that story is complete and utter garbage.
But don't let directors bring their fanfics on set, man.
But yeah, I just the Electronic Arts, they're a bunch of idiots, man, because they screwed the pooch on this one. They had, I think it was, I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on this, but I believe their exclusivity contract was like 5 to 10 years, something like that. So something similar to what Activision had with Bungie for Destiny, and they screwed the pooch on that. They fucked that deal up. Now, but this is good though. This is good because I've seen a lot of other content creators, a lot of influencers reactions to this. Like one of like for example, Angry Joe made a good point that this is good. This is actually good because this now there's competition. Now we can actually you have multiple companies competing against each other to put out a product based off the same franchise. Now they got to see which one is better. They have to do they have to do well. They have to do a good job. And if either one fails, the other one rises. So now that there's competition specifically within the Star Wars franchise, I think we're going to get a whole lot of good products as far as game development is concerned. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for the whole open world Star Wars game announced by Ubisoft and Massive. I have my own issues with Massive Entertainment being a Division 2 player, Division player since Division 1. I love the Division. I love that game, but I do still have my gripes with some of Massive Entertainment's specific choices when it comes to that franchise and what they do and what they don't do. But I'm gonna stay cautiously optimistic and see where this goes. But the only good thing that I have to say about this that I really like is now it opens the door for other developers to get their chance at the franchise and not EA hogging it to themselves. Aside from that, the only, like I said in the beginning of my statement, the only thing that really pisses me off is that Disney just finally, somebody at Disney or Disney Financial finally came up with the great idea to do this when they already had it already established and they just decided to cut it off because they thought they were never gonna be in the situation that we're all in now. Fucking
Well,
idiots.
and I understand that when you're not using that type of entertainment, that's why you sit out. But the atmosphere has changed. Movie is not as confident as far as movie theaters and the numbers are concerned. I mean, Trolls did gangbusters, but wasn't in movie theaters. So it's got to look at it. We got to think outside the box because normally in a normal setting, this would never have happened if COVID, I believe, or it had a slight possibility of happening if COVID never came around. Now that we've had a pandemic and the pandemic has lasted longer than a year, and with this new strand that's coming up that people are now more concerned about because it's deadlier than the first strand, it changes your point of view about things. And when you're a person that's been doing things, same thing for 50 years and it's been working, why change anything?
That's
And then,
true. Let me make a sound argument with that one. But I just feel like even if they didn't do anything with it or did small things with it, they still had everything. They still had the groundwork already prepared for them. All they had to do was just transfer the owner name, the title holder over, and let it continue operating as is.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they're building it from the ground up like they're trying to do now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
The only thing that I've been holding on to in my mind is like when you were talking about EA, one thing I thought about was like, when did they become crappy? Because I remember a lot of the games that I loved, like SSX Tricky, the snowboard.
Oh, yes.
Like, when did it
Yes.
Memories.
when
The
did they
good
become like,
days.
when did they become this hated company? I can't remember when the switch happened.
No, they've always been a hated company. The problem is it took too long. It took way too long for people to actually open up their eyes until they actually started doing a lot of anti-consumer decisions blatantly out in the open. The biggest thing that they've done is the sports community. They take advantage of the sports community, and most of them people don't care because they're either casual gamers, they love sports, they just want to play the game. But a lot of people go hardcore in, especially like on FIFA and Madden and 2K and all this other shit. Like they could be shit behind paywalls and all this other stuff and buying this in-game currency and spending money here just to get your stats up or unlock something, and they'll do it because they don't care. They just want to they want to get into their sport.
But Gray does have a good point. It didn't get bad and probably until like before. I'm thinking about the PS3 era.
Yeah.
That generation. That's when it started blatantly bad. But before that PS2, PlayStation, yeah, it's just SSX was the shit.
Yeah,
I
that was
spent many of hours trying to beat that high score.
Actually, that does remind me. Around the time that things started going downhill is when they made, to my knowledge, the last SSX game where this is the signs of something great and bad. Great. So great innovation in a whole different way. They did the stages by basing on actual mountain ranges and whatnot.
Right.
But now the problem, there's the online versus mode where you can think Mario Kart, just jump in and jump out. We can all do a race together and keep doing our best time for a set time. Could be a couple hours, could be a whole couple of days. But there was no official mode that we can all just, how it used to be, race together. So if we're racing together in this contest, you mess up, I mess up, and want to restart, there's no way we can both restart together. So this one, the whole everything has to be online thing. Restart taking over.
yeah, the live service thing, which is never going away no time soon.
Point being, when we had it before, was just going to play with a couple of people, which probably is most people has the best memories of it. Just saying.
I agree with Sleepy.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they publish bad games or anything. Some of the games are great. The whole controversy with Star Wars Battlefront 2 specifically, that game was actually pretty fucking good. But just trying to do shit in it is fucking ridiculous. Because everything is hidden behind a paywall.
Right. Yeah. And once they got rid of that, after Disney said, "Hey, what you doing?" and they monetized all that good stuff, then they said it's an excellent game. But by the time that happened, most of the people that were really into it and wanted to play lost interest.
Yeah, damage is done. Damage done, man. That's it.
I think the biggest controversy with the game was like when people were going into detail to, if you wanted to unlock everything, here's how much money you'd have to spend.
Right.
This isn't even like the lowest possible it could be. This is if you get lucky and get everything on one roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
what, 42,000 or something?
Something like that.
It was an insane amount of numbers. And it's like you can buy a new house.
Lifetimes if you wanted to unlock it without monetization.
Right.
You'll never stop playing that game. All right. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the RCP podcast. Be sure to join our Discord where you can participate in the shenanigans. Link will be in the description. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more on YouTube.